You would come visit to see the child, and he would bring his gun with him.
And did you feel threatened by him visiting with the gun on his
Yes.
person?
Did he hold the child while the gun was still on his person?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, sir.
What did we base that child support number on?
We based it on assuming that he makes $100,000 a year.
She indicated that you've shown up at her home unannounced. Is that correct?
Only because I have no other contact. She blocked me from everything.
And you did have a weapon on your person at the time?
I carry a weapon in my fanny pack all the time, and I'm licensed to carry.
And with the PTSD, you're still able to carry a weapon?
Mom requests a non-disclosure, although there hasn't been any family violence.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have a partially agreed order. The agreed terms are as follows. Child support will be modified to $263 per month starting March 1st, 2024. Mr. Williams will be ordered to maintain health and dental insurance through the VA or military benefits. And that would be the extent of the agreed portion. On the agreed terms, the state calls Ms. Manhanga first. Ma'am, did you hear the terms that I announced to the court just now?
Yes, I did.
And with the understanding that there's other issues regarding the arrears that are going to be contested, do you agree with those agreed terms that I announced?
Yes, I do.
I will pass the witness.
I have no questions regarding this issue.
Okay.
All right, the state calls Mr. Williams. Sir, did you hear the terms that I announced to the court just now?
Yes.
And again, with the understanding that there are contested issues such as the arrears and the non-disclosure request, you're in agreement with the agreed terms that I announced to the court just now, right?
As far as the arrangement for child support?
Yes, the child support of $263, and then you'd be ordered to carry the health and dental.
Oh, yes, correct. I agree.
I'll pass the witness.
Counsel, any questions on the agreed portion of Mr. Williams?
I do not, Your Honor.
Court accepts the agreed portion. You may proceed, counsel, for the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's proposed order as to the non-agreed portion would be child support arrears judgment as of February 7th, 2024 of $12,200.95. This does not include any release. To be paid off at $100 per month starting March 1st of 2024. In addition, we are also requesting a non-disclosure in favor of Ms. Manhanga, the custodial parent. On the non-agreed portion, the state calls Ms. Manhanga. Ma'am, the state's records show that Mr. Williams is in child support arrears in the amount of $12,200.95 as of February 7th, 2024. Do you agree with that amount?
Yes, I do.
And is there any reason that it would be incorrect?
No.
Has he ever made any direct payments to you?
No, he hasn't.
And you agree that he should pay off that judgment at $100 per month starting March 1st, 2024?
I do agree.
The state is also requesting that a non-disclosure be ordered in favor of you. Does Mr. Williams know where you currently live, Ms. Manhanga?
Yes, he does.
Now, hypothetically, if you're gonna move, would you want him to know where you moved to? Would you want him to have your new address?
No, sir.
Since the last order, which would be April of 2023, has there ever been any family violence between you and Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
Have you ever felt threatened, intimidated, or harassed by him in that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Now, how so?
You would come visit to see the child, and he would bring his gun with him.
And did you feel threatened by him visiting with the gun on his person?
Yes, sir.
In what month and year did that occur?
The first visit was October 29, and then a couple of days after that, he kept.
Wait 1 second. I need the month and the year.
October 29, 2023.
And did he put the gun out? Was it on his hip? What?
It was in his fanny pack. You could see it. It was in his fanny pack that he was carrying on him.
Was there any conversation about the gun? Did you discuss it with him?
I didn't want to escalate things, so I just kept quiet.
Had the two of you been disagreeing about anything prior to him coming or while he was there?
No.
And how old is your child that you share with him?
16 months.
16 months old.
Yes.
Did he hold the child while the gun was still on his person?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, sir.
Okay. Did he ever do that any other time other than October of 2023?
Yeah, he did come a couple of more days with the gun.
And you've never discussed that with him?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And it was never an argument or disagreement at all. It just was a normal visit, but you could see the gun.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Counsel for the state.
Yes, just one last question on that issue. When he came to see the child and the gun was on his person, did he give you any sort of notice ahead of time that he was going to be showing up at your home?
No, he just shows up.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Manhaga, the arrearage is based on a default order from April of 2023. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And at that time, I was your counsel. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And we based that child support. Well, let me ask you this. What did we base that child support number on?
We based it on assuming that he makes $100,000 a year.
And where did you get that information?
I had a discussion with him before he changed his job from UT Southwestern to Methodist. He told me he was making $98,000, and when he moved to Methodist, he got a raise. So I assumed it was at least $100,000.
So that information came directly from Mr. Williams.
Yes.
And at that time, was he also receiving his VA benefits?
Yes, he was already a disabled veteran.
Do you have any reason to believe that at the time the order was entered, that number was not accurate?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
Next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Williams.
Yes.
So, sir, you understand that the state system is showing that you owe $12,200.95 in child support arrears as of February 7th, 2024. Do you agree that that amount is correct?
It's not correct. I disagree.
And why do you believe that it's not correct?
I sent in all the documentation, like showing my monthly amount.
Hold on. The judge hasn't seen that documentation. So this is your opportunity to let the judge know, why do you believe that our system has an incorrect amount of arrears?
And before you get into that, I do want to say something now. I pulled up and I see there's an order from April of 2023 that set the current child support. That's conversation we don't need to have. That was set by a court, district court. That amount, that's what I have to acknowledge. So if we're getting into that, I can't discuss that. You think that amount was incorrect. It is incorrect. That's not the issue before me today. The issue before me today is look at what the court set your child support at. Is it accruing at that amount, $1,162 with interest? Have you made those payments? This is whether or not you've made the payments that the court ordered. So is that payment record incorrect is the question. Have you missed payments? Okay, because I can't undo that the judge set it at that amount. That's not what this hearing is for today, Mr. Williams.
Correct.
All right, the next question, counsel for the state.
Mr. Williams, have you made any direct payments to Ms. Minhango?
I have. When I was unemployed, I left my
and again, those direct payments would be from April of 2023 going forward, nothing before then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I made a payment. I made when I left my job on April the 22nd, 2023, when I was let go. I've been unemployed since April the 22nd, 2023. I received, some money from the previous company, and I sent her $1,000.
So you made a direct payment to Ms. Minhango for $1,000. On what date did you say?
I had to look at the Cash App, but it should. I mean, I would have to. I have you on my phone right now, so I have to look at the Cash App and look at the exact date.
I believe you sent the OAG a document. Does September 13th of 2023 sound correct to you?
Yes.
On or about that time? Okay. What was that payment for?
It was just for my son, for child support. Yeah.
I'll move on to the request for non-disclosure of Ms. Minhanga's contact information. She indicated that you've shown up at her home unannounced. Is that correct?
Only because I have no other contact. She blocked me from everything. So however, I mean, that's the only way I can.
Objection to non-responsive at this point.
Sustain. Listen to the question, only answer the question, Mr. Williams.
So you have shown up at her home without announcing ahead of time.
I have.
Okay. And
Correct.
and you did have a weapon on your person at the time?
I carry a weapon in my fanny pack all the time, and I'm licensed to carry.
And had you ever pulled it out in front of her or around
No.
Ms. Menhenga or her family?
Never.
I'll pass the witness.
I have no questions for this witness. I would like to recall my client, though.
Okay. Mr. Williams, were you discharged from the military service? Honorably?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no type of medical disability or any type of disability that you're claiming through the military, are you?
I do have a disability through the VA. Yeah.
What's the disability?
I have, I've been injured. I was injured during my military service.
No medical and no mental health issues?
No.
No PTSD, none of that was part of your discharge?
I have PTSD is a part of it.
And with the PTSD, you're still able to carry a weapon?
I am.
Do you take medication for this?
I take sleep aids so I can sleep at night.
Counsel so let me ask you this. What would be the purpose of, did you hold your child while you had your gun?
I keep it in my fanny pack. So
is there a reason why you would need to bring a gun in when you're visiting your child?
I mean, she stays in South Oak Cliff. So we lived together for over 2 years. So I know the area that she lives in. There's been multiple robberies, multiple things going on in that area. Mm. So I do carry a weapon just, for protection purposes all the time.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Williams, and I'm going to ask her too. What are the orders regarding visitation right now, presently? What are those specific orders? Are you able to pick up the child and leave with the child, or does it have to be supervised visits?
I mean, to be honest with you, whatever she wants. I mean, I'm not here to argue.
Mr. Williams, listen what I'm asking. It's not whatever she wants. I asked you specifically, do you know what's in the court order regarding visitation?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I never received it.
All right. I'm gonna ask her counsel, what's the order right now presently for visitation?
I am checking that, Your Honor. I don't recall, so I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay. I have it in front of me.
What is it, counsel for the state?
Mr. Williams shall have possession 4 hours on the first and third weekend of the month, at times mutually agreeable to the parties. And I believe it is required to be supervised.
And supervised by mother is saying?
The court finds it is not in the best interest of the child for Mr. Williams to have unsupervised access. It is therefore ordered that Mr. Williams' access shall be under the supervision of any paid supervisor or supervisory facility.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, then Mr. Williams isn't supposed to be coming to her house anyway for visits.
Sounds like it.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm going to admonish about that. And the facility, they said any third-party facility, but they didn't put FLP in the order?
I do not see FLP in here, no, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We're gonna address this shortly. Counsel for mother, you wanted to recall her?
I wanted to recall her regarding the direct payment. Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. Menhenga, did Mr. Williams send you a $1,000 payment in September?
Yes, on September 13th.
And was that over Cash App?
Yes.
And was that for your son, Mufaro?
No.
What was that $1,000 for?
He was paying me back for the money that he owed me, $1,000 he owed me from May 2022. And he did mention that to me.
And what did he owe you money for from earlier in that year?
I lent him money for his son's graduation.
And did you lend him $1,000?
Yes.
And that's the exact amount he paid you in September
Yes.
for his son's graduation.
Yes, that's the same amount, and which he requested back a few days later.
And to clarify, when I say his son, not for y'all's son together, it's for another child of his.
That's the child, yes.
And you said he also requested the money back a few days later via Cash App?
Like a week later, yes.
And then did you accept or deny that request?
I denied the request.
Do you believe that this was in any way money for your son, Mufaro?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Williams, did she loan you money?
We lived together for 2 years, ma'am.
That would be yes or no. Did she
No.
loan you money?
No,
No. Okay.
no,
Nothing,
No,
nothing for a graduation for your son.
no, ma'am.
Okay. Child support arrears confirmed at the amount requested by the state and mother of $12,295 payout, $100 beginning March 1st, 2024. Non-disclosure finding is granted in favor of the mother. Now, both of you need to follow the court's order regarding visitation. Mr. Williams is not to come to your house. Mr. Williams comes to your house, you don't have to open the door. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Follow the order. If no one can just come into the home if you just show up and you're uninvited. If you have to call the police, you call the police. You shouldn't show up to his home uninvited. Follow the court order. Sounds as if you need, and your counsel can talk to you about that. FLP is a neutral spot, and that could be a place perhaps that the two of you meet for visitation. If either one of you need to modify the visitation going forward because of disagreement or not conducive, then you both can do that. You would have to hire your own attorney and file that. But Mr. Williams, you're not to go to her home. And since you're saying she's in a high crime area, that'll alleviate your concerns and you packing a gun. You're gonna have to, FLP, that's one of the places probably wouldn't allow you to bring a gun there, and they probably have metal detectors as well. But it's for the visitation of the child. Follow the court orders, and court costs assessed to Mr. Williams 60 days from today's date. Counsel for the state, anything else?
Nothing further from the state.
If you disagree with my ruling, appeal it. You would have to file it yourself or hire your own private attorney. The AG's office represents only the state of Texas. You will receive a copy of my order today via your email. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. And you're free to disconnect.